Hi everyone, thank you for watching this video. Today I'm going to talk about what type of stretches that you can do for sciatica pain. Sciatica pain is a very common condition that many people in some stage in their life experience with it. But understanding the cause and what are the signs and symptoms of sciatica can help you to understand what can you do about it and what you should avoid. At the same time, I'm going to share with you a series of stretches that you should do at home without any equipment, and these stretches can help you with pain and mobility. Let's get started. If you've never been in this channel, my name is Bob, I'm a physical therapist, and the purpose of this channel is to help people like yourself with simple tips and exercise for quicker recovery. Make sure to subscribe my channel for my weekly update, and don't forget to press that like button. I'm going to start this routine with Mackenzie exercise, which is a very simple but effective exercise for pain and mobility. Mackenzie basically helps you to neutralize your nervous system, and if your sciatica pain coming from your lower back, which means from L4, L5 or L5, S1 and disc bulges, this movement can help you to reduce pain and mobility. I'm going to show you how to do it, and you can give it a try. You're basically going to lie down in your tummy, and you're trying to basically start from this position and slowly coming up to basically a slightly extension on your lower back. As you can see, when I'm coming up with the help of my elbow, I can actually feel the extension already. For every single person, it can be different. You might not need to come too high. Even up to here, you might feel basically that extension, and that's relief. And if you want to improve and you want to progress that, you can basically bring your elbows closer to your body and hold it there for 10 to 15 seconds, and in this position you want to basically relax your back. Now, how far can you go up? You can basically use your elbow initially, and then you can use your hands next to your body and literally go to the push-up position and bring your back to the point that your hip is still on the ground, but you're basically getting to that basically a hyperextension movement. You don't want to hold it too long. You can start with, let's say, 5 to 10 seconds. You can go back to the initial starting position and repeat this movement for 3 to 4 times. I'm going to show you one more round. You can come up, relax the neck again. And basically practicing this movement can help you to get more range. And in many cases, if you are practicing this enough, within a few weeks you can get amazing relief from your lower back pain. If you're not able to do this in the floor, I have a separate routine that I'm going to share with you in this video, that you can actually follow that routine and you can do this exercise in a seated position. We're going to move on to Pigeon Stretch, which basically is a hip opener. Now we're focusing a lot around hip area. The reason is when you're suffering from sciatica or piriformis syndrome, the hip muscle can be very tight, and it creates more kind of like spasm and protection and overprotection actually around the hip. What we're trying to do, we're trying to open up those muscles for your optimum results, which means improving your pain and mobility. I'm going to show you a simple way to do the Pigeon Stretch. In some cases, I would ask my patient to use something like a cushion, a pillow, or if you have these yoga basically blocks, that can be a good thing. You can literally, let's say, use that as an extra cushion for your hip. Now, I'm going to show you how to do it, and you can give it a try. You basically want to stretch this side, let's say on the left side. What you're going to do, you're going to cross the leg and try to basically sit on that, which means eventually at the start, that stretch can be pretty much good for me to take it, and I can basically slowly progress that. I can feel the stretch already. I won't try to kill it on the first place. I'm trying to just move around within my own range and breathe in and out and try to create some sort of like movement there. As soon as I felt a little bit easier, I can move forward and like create a bit of kind of lean forward on that hip. That create more basically tension on the hip, and like literally with bringing up this foot, I can increase that stretch. Now, I'm leaning on this hip. If I shift my body more towards my opposite foot, I can feel the stretch more. Now, I'm going to show you from the other side. You can simply see it from this way as well. I cross this leg forward. Initially, I just stay there. You can start from this level, which is kind of like not a huge challenge. If you need more pillow, you can put more pillow here to give you more support and cushion the knee. Now I'm gonna go slowly down whenever I feel more comfortable and kind of shift my body more towards my opposite leg, which means leaning more towards my left knee. I can feel more stretch now. Now, this can be a kind of like a simple exercise for you as well to progress to, which means the first couple of exercises that I showed you can be a good start. Slowly you build up this movement and progress to the pigeon stretch. If you find it is very difficult to get in that position, don't be worried too much about it. You can practice this in time. After 6-8 weeks, you would definitely have more range of movements. Give it a try and let me know how you're getting on. We're gonna move on to figure 4 stretch, which literally help you to open up the hip and specifically stretch the piriformis muscle. Piriformis muscle, it's a very tiny little muscle that passes very closely to the sciatica nerve, and in some cases this muscle can be tight, and with stretching this muscle basically you can get some relief. I'm going to show you how to do it in a lying position and you can give it a try. Basically, if you presume that your left side is the side that is sore, you try to basically cross that leg, and in some point, even if you're holding it there, you already can feel the stretch in this side of the hip. And if you bring the opposite knee a little bit closer to your body, you can actually lie down there and feel that stretch. Now, this is the initial position that you can get to the figure 4 stretch, which is like kind of like create that 4 figure here for you. You can hold it there for 15 to 20 seconds. I already feel the stretch there. It's actually a very nice and gentle stretch. After you're doing this couple of times, what can you do? You can bring the opposite knee a little bit higher towards your body, which I can feel more of the stretch now. Like, I wouldn't suggest you to basically push it to this level very quickly. You can start with this and basically movement, and even in some cases with lifting your foot off the ground, it can increase that pressure on the hip and the piriformis muscle. You're stretching your hip muscle as well, which is the combination can be really pleasant. Now, if you find this stretch is too strong, start with the initial stretch that I'll show you and slowly progress it to more advanced one. Hold it there for 30. You can even go up to 45 seconds. Try it for a few rounds through the day and you will see definitely a huge change on your pain and your mobility. We're gonna move on to hip flexor stretch, which is a kind of like stretching your hamstring and hip at the same time. This kneeling position basically stretch can be a simple way for you to open up your hip as well. Now, when you're suffering from something like sciatica or piriformis syndrome, your hip flexor in some cases can be very tight, at the same time very weak. I'm gonna show you a very simple way to stretch your hip flexor muscle and you can give it a try. What we're gonna do, we're gonna basically be in a kneeling position and we are basically stretching this side at the moment. What you're gonna do, you kind of like create that space between your two kind of foot, shoulder part. And what we're trying to do, we're trying to kind of like keep the hip in a neutral position, which means you tuck the knee in, the hip in, and you kind of lean forward slightly. And I already can feel the stretch around here, and even on my basically on my hamstring, I can feel it on this side as well. It kind of like feel a bit of kind of stretch around my above my hip as well. And what you're gonna do, you're gonna basically avoid leaning too much forward, which means with leaning forward, you kind of like reducing that stretch. You wanna keep the back straight, nice and tall, look forward, and you wanna lean, basically shift your body forward. Stay there for 15, 20 seconds. Breathe in and out. I'm gonna show you from the other side. Trying to keep the back nice and tall. Lean forward. Can feel it this side as well. Now, if you decided to take this stretch to the next level, what can you do? You can basically create a little bit of rotation on the hip, and I'm bringing this arm up to the opposite side while I'm moving forward. I'm holding that stretch. And I can feel now more on my basically oblique muscle as well. And it goes even until my over my lower back on the side. Now, this is one of the easiest way to stretch your hip flexor. There are so many other ways, but remember this, guys, if you're stretching your hip flexor, you want to basically strengthen them as well. I will have a more video about how to strengthen your hip flexor in future, and you can take a look at that. It's one of the things that you should do in the combination for optimum results. If you're suffering from sciatica pain, one of the muscles that can be involved in that condition can be hamstring muscle. Hamstring muscle, it basically passes along basically your hip and goes down to your knee, and in some cases that muscle can be very tight and stiff. I'm going to show you a very simple way to stretch that hamstring muscle without getting too much pain and discomfort, and it's pretty effective because you're in a stable position and you're not going to be able to actually cheat and use other muscle to be stretched. Now I'm going to show you how to do it. You can give it a try. You need some sort of like a resistant band if you have at home. In fairness, if you have something thicker, it would be better. I have a strong resistant band here that I can use it. I can leave you a link below this video. You can take a look at them and get them. Basically, they're pretty handy. You're gonna lie down on your back. We are basically focusing, let's say, on the left side. One of the things that you can do is to don't hold this too tight. You want to keep this loose. And what we're trying to do, we're trying to basically get the knee slightly bent, and you want to flex the knee and extend it, like basically flexion and come back to the extension. Now, whenever you felt that you're actually getting that stretch and you're feeling the stretch, you can stay there for 15 to 20 seconds. I'm not letting it go. I have hold this like tightly, breathe in and out, and if I feel that's actually is easing off, I pull a little bit more up, which means I feel now on the back of my hip, on back of my knee, and see my toes. If my toes goes up, it's easier to stretch. If it comes to me, which means towards dorsiflexion, it would be more challenging. You want to keep that nice. And when I hold it for 20 seconds, then I ease it off. I create that flexion and extension basically on the knee, play around a little bit with it, and then I back up and hold it when I feel the stretch. Breathe in and out. The good thing in this position, you have a great control in stretching your hamstring. Basically, your hip is stable and you basically can have a good control on that. You hold it for 20 to 25 seconds, and you can basically try this stretch for both sides, guys. It's pretty cool. If you have those basically yoga bands, you can use those. They're pretty good as well. I'll leave the link below. You can actually take a look at them and get them. I would probably suggest you to don't push the hamstring stretch to the point that you feel the burning at the back of your hip or your knee. You want to start from gently and slowly build up that range of movements, and you got to be patient. You can practice this 3 to 4 rounds for basically holding it for 30 to 40 seconds. Thank you for watching this video, guys. I hope you find this video helpful. I have shared with you my 5 top stretches for sciatica pain in this video that can help you to relieve pain and help you with your mobility. You should follow this routine daily, at least once a day, for a period of 3 to 4 weeks for optimum results. If you have any question about any of these exercises, please leave me a comment underneath of this video and I would be happy to get back to you. And don't forget to subscribe my channel for my weekly update and press that like button. Until next week, all the best.